Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So for those of you who don't yet know me, my name is Rania and I put out nursing school related videos, as well as the occasional fashion related video when school's got me burnt out and I just want to talk about something other than school. But with finals just around the corner, I figured that for today's video I will tell you about the different ways that I study for my classes. So if you want to learn about the different study methods that I use to stay at the top of all my classes, then please keep watching. The best and most effective way to study is through active recall, which basically means testing yourself. Most people, when they study, intuitively, they're just going to read or write their notes over and over again. And sure, doing those things may help a tiny bit, but they're really not effective ways to study, especially when it comes to sciences where you need to learn and memorize large amounts of information. When you're studying for an exam, you're not being tested on your ability to read or write your notes. You're being tested on your ability to retrieve information from your brain, and that is exactly how you should be studying. Testing yourself is by far the best way to prepare for an exam. So, flashcards are a great way to study using active recall, but I actually have a different method that I prefer. The way that I study actively is by making these spreadsheets on either Excel or Google Sheets. I've got two columns here. In the column on the left, I'll write either a word, a question, or the name of a theory or process. And the second column will contain either the definition or answer to whatever's being asked in column A. Once I'm ready to study, I'll change the font in column B to white so that I can't see the answers, and then I'll begin testing myself. Once I feel that I know a concept well, I'll color the box in green. If I'm not so confident with my knowledge, I'll color it in yellow, and if I really don't know that topic, then I'll color it in red. So by color coding the boxes, I'm able to get a pretty good idea of which topics I need to revisit and review. Now, I'll give credit where credit's due. This study method with the Excel spreadsheets I actually got from Ali Abdal, who is a YouTuber and doctor in the UK. He's got some really good study videos on his channel, and honestly, if it weren't for his videos, I don't know if my grades would be as high as they are right now, so you should definitely check him out. So the second way that I prepare for an exam is by doing chapter questions from the textbooks because one, active recall, and two, sometimes instructors get lazy when they're making their tests and they actually take questions out of the textbooks and sometimes even Quizlet. I'm not even kidding, I've written exams before that contained questions from the textbooks and from Quizlet that I had used as practice, so don't skip out on doing the practice questions. The third way that I prep for exams is probably the most obvious way, and that is reading the slides and my notes. Before class, I load all the slides onto my iPad and then I annotate them all in red. That way the extra information that I've written down stands out to me. I use OneNote as my note-taking app because it syncs with all of my devices. That way when it comes time to studying, I can just open up OneNote on my laptop and I throw it up on my monitor for easy viewing. So when it comes to things like drugs or electrolytes, I prefer to put that kind of information into tables or charts. That way I can easily compare and contrast. You can see here how I've got tables for different electrolytes. We'll just look at calcium for example. At the top here I've got the normal levels for calcium, and then below that I've just got some brief notes on the functions of calcium and its relations to other things in the body. And then below it I've got these sections here where I compare the causes, manifestations, treatments, and tests for hypo and hypercalcemia. And then I just go ahead and make tables like this for all the electrolytes that I need to learn for each exam. The last study technique that I use is by making these study sheets. I basically just take all the information off the slides, type them up, and organize them into a Word document. Although to be honest, I don't do this very often because it is so time consuming and honestly, like, who has time for this? Those are the 5 methods I use for studying. I don't necessarily use all 5 methods for each exam. I kind of use a combination of certain ones. Really, it just kind of depends on which exam I'm studying for. For example, pharmacology, I use a lot of tables to break down the drug classes and see what each drug does. For pathophysiology, I tend to use the Excel spreadsheets. But to be honest though, the Excel spreadsheets and doing practice test questions is pretty much my go-to when it comes to studying. As I mentioned at the beginning of this video, active recall is by far the most effective way to study for exams because you're really forcing yourself to dig into your brain and pull out all of the answers that you know. So that's it, those are my study tips for you. If you found this video helpful, then please give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, then please hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.